Guys, even though it is Friday and the markets are closed tomorrow, I want to hop on here and share with you guys something that you're going to want to take a look at next week. But before I get into all of that, let me share with you guys how we have closed out this week. This is a trade that I posted over at the Patreon just before I entered into it earlier this week. I did an update on this one when it was 40%. Now we've closed out this trade over 100% in return, netting just under $6,000 on this trade. As I tell you guys, there is no opportunity like it than options trading, where you have the ability to take a very small amount of capital and turn it into something significant. Here on this trade, if you'd entered 500 in, you would have received over 1,000 net capital in return. I said to you guys, it is a phenomenal opportunity that if you are not already taking maximum advantage of, you are going to want to do so, because it is a way for you guys to have a significant boost on your income in times where it is very, very much needed. Guys, we're at the end of the week. A lot of you guys will now start to reflect on the week that you have just had. A lot of you guys will start to feel like you haven't done as much as you could have. A lot of you will feel like you haven't put things into place that's going to fulfill those visions and goals that you have. Some of you guys even may feel like you have made a step backwards in time, but that is okay. I'll let you guys know that is fine, and that is why I created this channel, and that is to let you guys know that there is massive opportunities for you. Regardless of what your current situation is, regardless of your education level, regardless of your occupation, that doesn't matter. The markets are a phenomenal opportunity for you to take advantage of. There are billions and billions of capital flowing in every single day. All you need is a small piece of the action to completely flip your current situation upside down. Okay. Once again, that is why I created this channel, to bring awareness to that for you guys throughout the week. All right, but check this out. As I said, there is something I want you guys to be aware of next week, and that is with Micron. This is a semiconductor name because what's happening right now is we have what we call a sub-sector rotation. So as you guys know, or you may not know, we had a lot of capital flowing into the AI space, names like Nvidia taking advantage of that. But now what we're seeing is that capital seeping out of AI and moving into other areas are somewhat similar. And one of those is going to be Micron. Micron is an AI, but they do memory. So it's related, and we're seeing that flow of capital. So it's an opportunity for you guys to get in on this subsector rotation that is taking place, and that will take place for the next couple of weeks. Micron delivered their earnings not too long ago. When I'm trading, it's always good to have that fundamental backing. So yes and good, the charts come number one, okay? But it's always good to have that reinforced by some sort of positive fundamentals. And here we have Micron just absolutely smashing their earnings not too long ago. Let's take a look at the chart. As I said to you guys in the last video, 70% of IG's clients were on the wrong side of the trade. They were short. You've seen what's happened to the market since then. It's just been off to the races, moving higher. We still have that momentum across the board, and that's what you want to ride. That's what you want to stick with. You don't want to do any sort of reversal trade. You don't want to do any sort of trade against a trend. You just want to be riding that momentum. And this is as good a name as any to do so. If you look at the chart, we've gone from the bottom left to the top right. Clear indication of momentum here. But let you guys know, you don't need any fancy indicators, any drawings or anything on your charts to have a very good understanding of the situation and where it's going next. So let me walk you through that. If you take a look, we had this massive gap on the chart, right? This big move up. That was because of their earnings. They delivered very strong numbers. I just showed you guys the news report from that. You had a big move up in the charts. Normally when you see that big move up, it normally leads to further movement higher, because you have that solid base, that solid foundation level. Then you start to get the FOMO buying taking place. So those, the fear of missing out, those who didn't catch the move, then start to buy in. That's how you get it moving higher and higher. And that's exactly what took place. Then we had what we call this triple top price action. That's just a sign of weakening, a temporary pause. The bulls couldn't move this any higher. That's fine. That's normal course of action, normal course of business in the market. You see that all the time. Now, inevitably, that's going to lead to a movement lower, okay? But what's interesting is here is we saw a 60% retracement from this low to this high, okay? That 60% retracement is significant. When you see a 60% retracement and then a reversal off that, normally means that you're going much higher, okay? So we put in a nice base here, nice support base. Price continued that momentum for a second pass at that high up at 130. Notice how price put in this double bottom over here. What that's gone and done is this reinforce the support level, okay? Put that floor in place. And now that you've identified that, you know that this trend is real, you know that this trend is good, you know it's going to lead to more. But here's the kicker. As price has moved higher, it has left a gap. And this gap is down to 115, this gap right here. What you want to do is you want to wait for price to go ahead and fill that gap at 115. Expectation is that happens in the near term, right? Next week sometime, fills that gap. What that's going to do is it's going to make a lot of people feel like the momentum has ended. That is your opportunity to get in on this and then ride this one higher with calls to the upside, breaking through the high that is put in this week and moving to have a second pass at the ultimate peak that it put in like a month ago, up at 130. So that's how you want to play this one, okay? Trading is almost like boxing, because if you watch a lot of boxers, what they'll do is they won't, the good ones that is, they won't leap out first at their opponent. They'll wait for their opponent to make a move, then they'll counter that move. That's exactly what you want to do here. You want to counter the price action when it drops and fills that inefficiency, fills that gap at 115. So I want to drop that for you guys ahead of next week, so you have something to prepare for and something to look forward to. Got a member from over at the Patreon says, just joined your team. I'm an Uber driver and it's tough out here. I've tried options on GME, AMC, JOB, ALCC, IBRX, trying to put food on the table for my wife and kids. Appreciate you. First of all, you completely lost me after AMC. I don't know, I have no idea what those names are, what they do. But it does bring up a very good point that I want to touch on, and that is your selection of stock. What a lot of people do is they dive in straight and pick a name out of the bunch and then trade it. I do it differently. And I teach the guys over the Patreon to do it differently as well. I have a top-down approach. That is, I look at the biggest traded assets in the markets. Those are going to be your indexes, so your SPY, your QQQ, or any other ETF like ARK, for example, which I shared at the beginning of this video. There's a very key reason why I traded ARK and not AMC, because these are collections of stock. They house so many different names out there in the market, so they give you the best view, the best indication of what is actually going on in the marketplace. If you just look at one of these names, AMC, you have no idea what the context is, what context you're trading in. Because let's say you pick AMC, you decide to go long, but 99% of the market is going down the next day or the day after or for the week. Well, your AMC or whatever you pick is likely just to follow the rest of the market. So that's why it's important to have that top-down approach and not go in at the bottom, right? So I look at the top of the market, top of the food chain. Then if I wish, I will go down the food chain. So I might go to a large cap, go to mid cap, or go to a smaller name that is gonna move with the rest of the market, right? So that's what you do. Now, if you do that, you're going to instantly boost your success rate. You're instantly going to become way more profitable if you just have a top-down approach to the market. It will be a complete game changer for your trading activity. Have that top-down approach. What I want to let you guys know is it doesn't matter what your occupation is. It doesn't matter what your education level is. A lot of people get put off or scared by the fact that they may be limited in those things. I have had taxi Uber drivers make thousands. I've had students make thousands. I've had unemployed people make a lot of money in the market, and they show me the receipts all the time. It's not based on your education, or it's not based on what your occupation is. What is important is what you're exposed to and the information you know. Your exposure and your information is what is going to make you a lot of money in these markets, take you to great heights. As I said, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Billions and billions is traded every single day in the market. All you need is a small piece of the action to completely change your lives in a very short period of time, right? So guys, that is the video for today. Drop me down some comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time.